Hi Aquarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. This is going to be a general reading for September 2024. So before I do my reading for you, I have to tell you this really short story about the significance of the neon green dragonfly that you might have seen when you clicked on my video. And this was a picture that was sent to me from my daughter about 2 weeks ago. I looked at it and we exchanged a few words on it, and I'll get to those words in a minute, but I put it away and it was like, for some reason, it was like, I'm not looking at this. And I know better, and I think she knows that she sent it to me for a reason, because she knows that I'm interested in spiritual animals, and in particular ones that are kind of random and odd and show up out of nowhere. And I mean, I think you'll agree with me that this is an incredible picture. And so, my ego self would have said to me, it means nothing. It's meant for her. She's the one that spotted it. But the thing is here, she sent it to me. And I'm sure I was probably the only person she sent it to, because she knew I would have been interested in it. And so when I sat down to think about a reading for you the other night, the picture of that neon green dragonfly came to me, and I'm like, okay, that was the intuitive nudge that I got. I need to look at this picture again. And so I looked up, the first thing I did was I looked up our conversation that my daughter and I had on Messenger. The first thing she said to me was, look at this guy, I spotted him. And when I looked up the significance of the dragonfly as a spiritual animal, actually, what I did was I looked at the story of the dragonfly, and what it takes for them to get here on this earth, and before we can actually see them. And so they have this incredible metamorphosis, this incredible transformation of going from this water-dwelling nymph insect to this adult flying thing that we see around. And as an adult, they only last about 1 to 2 weeks typically, but they can last up to 6 to 8 weeks. So the fact that she spotted him was incredible. I have never seen a neon green dragonfly. And when you look at this picture, I mean, it looks fake. And that was my reaction. It looked fake. And I said, touch it. And because I thought it was like a kid that had stuck it to, a post or something. And to be honest with you, that was my belief. And it almost still is, because it looks so real. I mean, so fake. So much of it has, these pearly eyes, and the wings have like almost like this, it looks like it's gold plated or something. And the fact that it's neon green, I had to look up, Googled if there's such a thing as a neon green dragonfly. I mean, it's like this illusion. It looks fake, but it's real. And then when I asked her to touch it, her response was, ooh, no. And that was huge significance for me, because what is it about ourselves that we believe to be true, but it's a real illusion, because underneath it all, it's fake. And we're afraid to look at it, to dig it out and look at it and see, what is it about this that is not real? And so there was my reading for you. I was going to do a reading, and I'm going to call it Moving Beyond the Illusion. So the first thing I want to look at in your reading is, what false idea or belief about yourself that you need to become aware of. And you might not even know, because sometimes it has that, ooh, I don't want to look at it. Because, we walk around with masks and we believe that this is who we are. But when we start to dig at it, it's not really who we are. It's something usually that people told us about ourselves, and we've grown up to believe this is who we are. And so in the second part of the reading, I'm going to do some shadow work. And so I'm going to look at what shadow aspect is driving or impacting this illusion that you have about yourself. So it's going to dig up something from childhood that probably, you've learned about yourself and you continue to believe it. And so if you're not familiar with those two terms, shadow or shadow work, I'm going to leave a really good video that I've done on my other channel called Carol Cares. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step to Shadow Work. And it's all about facing your own shadow. And I really walk you through how I have faced and continue to face my own shadow intensively so I can heal my own childhood trauma. And then in the last part of the reading, I'm going to look at, how can you begin to heal this shadow aspect that's coming up for you so that you can move beyond this illusion and heal yourself. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When I sat down and put together this reading, I said, well, you know what? This has something for me. She sent it to me 2 weeks ago. And so what I did was I had to look at, in the last 2 weeks, how have I been healing, or what do I need to look at that, what illusion of myself do I need to move beyond for personal growth? Because the color green is all about personal growth and healing and transformation. And sure enough, that's what I've been doing. And so I know that this had a lot to do with me and my own healing journey, of course. It always does when I do these readings. And so I hope that this has a lot to do with you, and you let me know below if you resonate with the reading that I'm going to do for you right now. So let's get started with your reading, and we're going to start off with the Animal Guides Tarot. And I'm going to ask the tarot for 3 cards for the 3 sections. And then I'm going to clarify that with the Rider-Waite deck. And we're going to pick a spirit animal card for you at the end. And, it's all in keeping with this spirit animal theme we have going on with our reading today. So, one small announcement. My personal readings are still on discount until September 15th. I've extended the date. There's a link in my description box and in my comments if you are interested. And there are about 6 readings you can choose from. And one of the readings is this reading actually I'm doing for you today. So all the prices and the descriptions and everything's there for you. And you can pay through PayPal. So let's ask the tarot right now for your first card. What false belief or idea do you have about yourself that you need to become aware of? So this is for Aquarius. Now I have too many, so I'm just going to choose this one. Just pick one card here. Pick out one card for each. So you have the Empress in reverse. You have the Angora Rabbit in reverse. And what's coming up from your shadow that's impacting that or driving this? One card, please. There we go. The 8 of Water, which is the 8 of Cups, the kangaroo. The kangaroo, 8 of Cups. And finally, advice from the tarot. Advice from the tarot. These cards are really hard to try to shuffle them, and they're really big. But so far they've been pretty good. You just got one card's got to come out here. Advice from the tarot. One card here. Being stubborn. There we go. You have the Ace of Water, Ace of Cups. All right, so 2 cup cards here. And the Empress is about emotions. So I'm going to say Your whole top row here is about emotions. Now let's clarify these three. The Angora Rabbit, the Empress in reverse. Let's clarify that one. 2 to 3 cards, please, for that. Okay, so you got the 5 of Wands in reverse, 10 of Swords, and the Judgment card. The 8 of Cups. 2 to 3 cards, please, to clarify. Tell me more about this 8 of Cups. This just goes a lot faster when I use a smaller deck. And one more here. One more card. Take that one. All right, you have the Lovers, the Sun, and the 2 of Cups in reverse. And the Ace of Cups here, the Ace of Water, or Dove. 2 to 3 cards, please. One more card. Two more. All right, finally got those out. So the Ace of Cups, you got the Star in reverse, the King of Cups, the Tower in reverse, and the 5 of Swords. I can't tell you how many times the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands have come out in my readings this month. It's been incredible. Incredible. As soon as I pulled that 5 of Wands, I just went... Incredible. We're going to start off with this Magician card over here. Because this is going to be your overriding energy for this reading. I did your yearly reading in January 2024. And I pulled 12 cards for you. And for the month of September, this is a card I pulled for you. And those readings are in my description box if you're interested. The Magician card is what people call, you know, he is the manifestor, like he's a master manifestor. He can make anything come into being if he wants. And you know, this quality, it's a major arcana card here. It's number 1 in the major arcana. And this quality, we all have this quality in us. When I first started my healing journey 7.5 years ago intensively for my own complex trauma, I was told by my own trauma therapist that I had all the answers in me. And it's not something I wanted to hear because I was so used to seeking other people or trying to get my answers for life and my own issues and problems, you know, through other people. But she told me that I had all the answers in me, and I see this card as that says, you know, you have all the answers in you, Aquarius. And we're going to see, because, you know, the Magician has everything at their disposal. It has all the 4 elements, all the 4 suits. has the elements, the pentacle, the cup, the sword, and the wand on the table. They have everything at their disposal here. So we're going to see how that plays out in this reading right here of you having all your answers in you. And we're going to start off with what false belief or idea do you have about yourself that you really need to become aware of, because sometimes we know, sometimes we don't, and sometimes we can be in denial about it. You start off with the Empress card, which is a major arcana number 3. And the Empress is the second half of the feminine energy in the major arcana. And the first half is the High Priestess and represents our intuition. So these are feminine qualities that we have in us. All of us have intuition. This one is the Empress, and she's the second half. And the Empress lives by her emotions. She lives through her emotions. She lives in her body, and she feels everything, and she would make all her decisions from her emotions, and that's how she basically feels her way through life. And not afraid to feel her emotions, not afraid to get into her body. And so we're going to clarify that and what that has to do with what belief you have, because, well, she's in reverse here. And so because she's in reverse, you could actually be sitting with some real hopelessness right now, or some ungrounded anger, because behind that ungrounded anger is actually some grief that needs to happen if that's where you're sitting. But, so there's some resistance on your part to getting into your body and understanding what that means, because our ego self will keep us in our head, but our emotions don't live in our head. There's a call here for you to get into your body and to start feeling your emotions. And I said that these 3 cards are all cups up here. And so very much a call for you to start to feel. And we have to feel to heal. There's no other way around our healing. The 5 of Wands comes up for you. So this is all about your belief system you have. And the 5 of Wands is a card of, I call it the battle of the ego, the battle of the ego. All of these individuals here in an upright card would represent these people that are, comparing their wands, saying my baton's longer than yours, and, I'm better than you are. And it's a battle of our ego here. And so it's really a card of unworthiness, just not feeling good enough in our own skin, and comparing ourselves and judging ourselves. And this is in reverse here. And so I'm seeing here that, this is really something that you are resisting, again, dealing with, or realizing, how, I think sometimes we know we feel unworthy about ourselves, but how much this is affecting you, and how much you have created this belief about yourself that you're unworthy when it's not even true. And the way that we can feel through that is to get back in our body. And here's the 10 of Swords. Look at this individual done in by all these swords. And what are these swords? Swords are our mental energy. They're those belief systems that we tell ourselves, that we hear ourselves saying about ourselves, right? Like, you're no good, you're a piece of shit, you don't belong, you're not smart enough to do this. All these things that people told us when we were younger, and we kind of collected them, inherited them somehow, and we made them into we believe that is who we are. And that's what's formed your unworthiness here. This shame, we can call it shame, your unworthiness of who you are, because it's based on a bunch of lies. Who you are is based on a bunch of lies that you continue to believe. And then you have this Judgment card here, which is very fascinating, because this Judgment card, these individuals are being called by this angel, and they're coming out of their coffin. It's like they're becoming aware, right? And so the universe is calling you. It's like, You need to become aware. You need to become aware of, how this has affected everything, the way that you've lived your life, all the decisions in the past you've made, and you just need to become aware. It's calling you now to become aware of this. Now is the time. Now is the time to get back in your body and become aware of how much this has affected you. And so what's the shadow aspect here? We're going to look at what's driving this. We're going to look at what is coming up from your shadow that needs healing. And so this is going to be something that, when you're 4, 5, 6 years old, maybe an adolescent, where this unworthiness came, it kind of explains where this came from. And so you start off with the 8 of Cups here. And the 8 of Cups is a card of this individual that's walking away from all of these cups that are lined up. 8 emotions, 8 cups here. And it's not like they're walking away from their emotions. They're walking away from needing some time out to feel, needing some time out to heal. And so this tells me, because it's a shadow card, it's in your shadow when you were younger, I don't think you were given the opportunity to take time out to feel. You weren't giving the opportunity to feel. In other words, when you did express your emotions, because that's who you were, humans have emotions so that we can express ourselves, express how we feel about things. Like, this is me, this is how I feel. And if we were shut down when we were younger and told that this emotion, like anger, is not allowed to come out, or you're not allowed to cry, you can't have too many tears, right? Well, then that's when we start collecting these, well, you're a crybaby, or you're not allowed to get angry, and all these things that we collect, and we keep spinning in our head about that, and that's who we are. And so this is what this card is. This tells me that you weren't in a situation where you were allowed to express your emotions. The Lover's card comes out here, Major Arcana number 6 card here, and it speaks about these two sides of us. We have a feminine side and a masculine side here. And it's not a question of two lovers coming together. This is a question of your feminine side and your masculine side. So this is your ego self here, and this is this feminine side. And everybody has these two parts. And this part in particular has emotions. And this is our ego self here. And he's looking straight ahead. And this individual, she's looking up. And she's looking up to the universe. And that's where she gets her intuition from. And that's where she gets her her ability to go inwards and be able to feel these emotions. And so the universe is saying, I think when you were younger, this side of you, this feminine aspect side of you, was not allowed to come out. And oftentimes it gets repressed in us. And so you had a choice to make. It's often called a choice card. You had a choice to make when you were younger that, if you couldn't show who you were with your emotions, well, then you had to shut that part of you off. And that left you with someone that was very much in their head. And you picked up these swords and these belief systems about yourself. The Joy card comes out too. And you didn't get to feel the true joy of being who you are, of experiencing who you really are. And the last card that comes out here is a 2 of Cups, and it's in reverse. And the 2 of Cups is again, it looks like very similar, often compared to this Lover's card here. This is from the Major Arcane, and this is from the Minor one. And this intimate relationship, again, it's not an intimate relationship between two people like this one is. This is about, your wholeness and your enjoying these two parts of you. This one is about, it's the Two of Cups. It's just at the beginning of the cup suit. It's about the beginning of getting to know, of having an intimate relationship with you. And so because you weren't allowed to experience your own emotions, you weren't allowed to find out who you really are. And so you've been carrying around all of this shame and this unworthiness and these belief systems in your head of who you are. But who you really are in your shadow is this individual that wasn't allowed to feel their emotions and express them. And so that part of you, that feminine side of you, is shut down completely. And that's where that the Empress comes here for sure, and that's why she's here. She's blocked. She's blocked. And I think there's a real call. Like I said, there's a call here. There's a call here for you to get back into your body and to start to feel some of your emotions. And I mean, I didn't say that because I said this card, but here's the advice from the tarot, and it's an Ace of Water. It's Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is a brand new offer, a gift from the universe. That's what an ace is. And this one is a new offer to feel. A chance to feel. A new chance here. You know, it's up to you now. You get to go in your body and feel, because our emotions live here. They don't live up here. There's some healing that needs to be done. Here's the first card. Is you have 4 cards here. So the healing, there's some healing that needs to be done here. You know, and I think we've established that already. There's a resistance to going inwards. I do want to say something about the healing card. Now, anytime you do see water in any of these cards, it refers to our emotions. And notice how this angel is just dipping their toe in a little bit. And I think there is this big fear for people to go inwards and back into their body and to start to feel their emotions. And we just need to do that a little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. It doesn't have to be a lot. I was once told, you know, especially when it comes to grief, you know, really, you know, there's a lot of grief, I'm sure, that needs to come out for you where you're just not allowed to be yourself. And I was told once, you know, just to think of it as a faucet and you turn it on a little bit. And then if it gets too much, turn it off. And you turn it on a little bit more next time and turn it off. And this is what this healing card is saying, just a little bit. Keep one foot on the ground, grounded, and you just dip your toe into those emotions a little bit. I will give you a playlist on grounding and teaching you how to get back in your body for sure. At the end, I bring you into my backyard and I'll show you how to ground yourself so you can get back into your body. Grounding is not something that's all zen like people say it is. It's when you ground, you're getting back into your body, and that's when those feelings are going to come up. You know, and that's why people shut it all back down, because they're scared about what's coming up. You have the King of Cups behind. I mean, this reading is just like flowing as far as the cards that are coming out here, because the King of Cups is the king is our masculine side. We have, like I said, we have a feminine and a masculine, and this is our ego self. When you decide that you want to get back into your body, and when you decide to feel some of these emotions, your ego self is going to come out, and it's going to tell you that, you know, these emotions that you want to feel, don't go there. Don't go there. They're dangerous. Our ego self is the most scared part of us. It's petrified of emotions. It thinks it's going to eat us alive. And it's a part that wants to protect us. And like they did when we were young and we had these big emotions that we couldn't deal with, like shame. And it wants to protect us. And it still thinks, the ego self still thinks we're way back in our childhood. And it wants to protect you, and it'll block you from feeling these emotions. It's going to come out and it's going to say, no, you're not going there. Don't go there. So you really need to become aware of that, and then keep grounding and keep grounding. Get back into your body, because the ego self's up here. It's not in your body. It's in your head. And then, you know, you have this Tower card coming in here, and it's in reverse. And when I see this, it's like... and I think it's going to go with this Five of Swords here for sure. So, like I said, your reading is very interesting, because you start off with the Five of Wands and you end with the Five of Swords, and both of those cards have been coming up. I cannot tell you how many readings they've been coming up this month. And usually there is a theme kind of in all the readings that will come up. The Tower card comes in reverse when it's like the universe has been trying to call you, trying to get your attention here with this Judgment card, right? This calling you, nudging you, wanting you to get back into your body so that you can start to deal with this shame that's coming up here. This unworthiness that you've been carrying for so long. All of these swords that you've been carrying in your head for so long. And when you don't, pay attention to the red flags, or when we resist healing, sometimes the universe will come in with a tower moment. And it's like a baseball bat from the universe that says, you know what? I've given you so many chances, and boom, they come in with this big baseball bat, and we just don't know why this is happening to me again. But this is in reverse here, because it's like this is your final red flag here that says, you need to deal with this Five of Swords. Look at this card. This is the bullying card, I call it. This individual who is so smug, he's just won this battle. Look at the jagged clouds. Like, you can just tell there's something not right in this picture. Well, look at this victim here, right in the back that's hidden. Can't forget about the victim back there. He's got his hand in his face like this. And what I know is that when I'm dealing with my own shame and I'm grieving, and there's shame behind it, I will cover my face like this. And that's how I know it's shame. This is the card right before your Tower moment that says it's time for you to deal with this shame. You have carried it around, Aquarius, for too long now. And it's affected everything about you and who you are. And shame is an emotion that we're not born with. It's something that is given to us. Bullies give it to us. People give it to us. It's handed down through generations, this shame of who we are. And everybody has it, but we don't want to admit it. It's a shitty feeling. It starts with SH. It's shitty. But we do have to heal it. And so, Aquarius, I'm going to be pulling an oracle card for you. One came out right here for you, this first one. And it's Dove Spirit. Beautiful card. It's called Be Peace. Hasn't come out yet for these readings. With her peaceful cooing, the gentle dove spirit invites you to embrace the energy of peace and allow compassion to warm your heart. You always have the power to generate peace within you. And the appearance of dove spirit is a reminder that today and every day is a good day to meditate, to quiet any turbulence within, as you embody tranquility. Above, below, and all around you, much may be happening to distract you, but you are called to engage it with the heart of a peacemaker, asking yourself, what would peace do? Interesting that they use the word called here. You're being called towards peace, peace within you. However disturbed the waters are around you, however troubled your heart, Dove Spirit is there to remind you that peace without begins within as you reconnect with spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Again, this whole idea of awakening you. Your true nature is as a peaceful child of spirit, but how easily you forget. You're being invited to sit in the cozy, safe nest of spirit. Soon the waters will become still and you will feel peace again. And Aquarius, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey of your life, but the most important one. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Until then, take care. Bye.